From the one and only, this is a Local 10 News Update, sponsored by FHIA, Florida Home Improvement Associates.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Janice Fernandez, and here's a look at your top stories. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter crash in California Sunday morning. Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, were among 9 people on board when the helicopter crashed and burst into flames in Calabasas. Authorities confirmed there were no survivors. Bryant was drafted into the NBA at the age of 17, later becoming a 5-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, and all-time leading scorer in Los Angeles history before retiring in 2016. Bryant was 41 years old. The NTSB is now investigating the cause of the crash. Police investigating a deadly drive-by shooting in Northwest Miami-Dade. A woman and her teenage son were shot inside a home off Northwest 18th Court near 127th Street. Neighbors say they heard multiple gunshots fired around 4:30 Sunday morning. The victims were taken to Jackson Memorial, where the woman died from her injuries. The teen is recovering. No arrests have been made. An accused arsonist making his first appearance before a judge over the weekend. 31-year-old Sove Belios is charged with arson and domestic violence. His bond was set at $5,000. Police arrested Belios Friday morning after authorities say he intentionally started a house fire at Northwest 8th Street and 19th Terrace. No one was hurt.
Listen to Local 10's podcast, The Florida Files, wherever you are, whenever you want. Just say, Alexa, play the Florida Files podcast.
Getting the latest episode of Florida Files. Here it is from TuneIn.
Previously on the Florida Files.
Or just ask Siri, I want to hear the latest Florida Files podcast.
Here's the newest episode of the Florida Files.
Get the Florida Files on Alexa, Google Home, or Apple devices just by saying play the Florida Files podcast. The Florida Files from the one and only Local 10.
Hundreds of cyclists took part in a silent ride Sunday morning to remember one of their own. 51-year-old Clifton Cargill, the leader of a bicycle group, was shot and killed earlier this month. The ride to South Beach started at the same North Miami Beach bike shop where Cargill was murdered. His killer remains on the loose. And as breaking news happens, we have you covered on air and online. Just head on over to local10.com for more local news coverage and updates.